I'm leading. What the hell do I do now? Those words went out over a NASCAR team radio on a Sunday night in North Carolina, and within hours they were clipped, captioned, and replayed across every corner of the internet. But here is what almost nobody is talking about. The same driver who said those words 4 days earlier told a reporter something very different. He said he was weak. He said his own team was weak. He was not talking about the track where he said the now viral line. He was talking about the 5 tracks still left on the schedule, the ones that decide whether any of this actually matters. So which one is the real Shane Van Gisbergen? The driver laughing on the radio like he cannot believe his own speed, or the driver who, 3 days earlier, was quietly warning his own team about what is coming? Stick around, because tonight's story is not really about a 5th place finish. It is about a single points number that could erase all of it in 5 weeks. Before we get into why some in the NASCAR world think this career night might actually be the worst thing for his playoff case, hit that subscribe button right now. This channel, NASCAR Racing World, is closing in on 500 subscribers, and every single one of you helps us get there. If you like real NASCAR breakdowns instead of recap fluff, subscribing costs nothing and it tells us to keep making this kind of content. Drop a like, leave a comment, and share this with another race fan. Your support genuinely decides what we can bring you next. North Wilkesboro Speedway is one of the toughest tracks in the sport to simply survive, let alone lead. It is a historic 0.625-mile short track, and NASCAR's return to it has already produced 2 dramatic Cup Series races. Going into Sunday's race, Denny Hamlin sat as the points leader, a driver who has forgotten more about short-track racing than most drivers will ever learn. And then, on lap 52, something happened that was not supposed to happen. Van Gisbergen started 8th in a 37-car field after qualifying was washed out by rain. His crew chief, Stephen Doran, made the first move that mattered, a 2-tire pit stop on the opening cycle that catapulted the number 97 Chevrolet from the back of the top 10 straight to 4th. It was not a lucky strategy call in isolation. Van Gisbergen had been racing at the same track less than 24 hours earlier in the Craftsman Truck Series, where he finished 3rd, and he carried that knowledge straight into Sunday. From 4th, he did not stop. He picked off Christopher Bell. Then he picked off Ty Gibbs. And then, on lap 52, he cleared Denny Hamlin himself, who had chosen not to pit and was running on older tires. It was Van Gisbergen's first oval lead since Nashville in late May, and it was the moment the radio line landed, "I'm leading. What the hell do I do now?" He backed the radio line with a fuller quote after the race. Van Gisbergen said, "It's pretty cool to get up front and then be able to pass for the lead genuinely. We just have to enjoy ourselves. But leading came at a cost." The aggressive run forward wore down his rear tires, and by the end of stage 1, Ty Gibbs slipped by to steal the stage win by less than a car length. Van Gisbergen did not fold. He held position, then quietly built out one of the best nights of his oval career, 49 laps led, second only to eventual race winner Joey Logano's 3:23, a top 5 finish in stage 2, and ultimately a career-best short-track result. His own assessment afterward was blunt. Van Gisbergen said, "I'm pretty pissed I blew the tires off it and lost the lead on the last corner, but it was cool to be up there." There is a detail in all of this that should needle anyone ready to declare him a finished product on ovals. Van Gisbergen has built his entire NASCAR reputation on road courses, and by his own account, he leaned on right-foot braking and lines he said he figured out the night before in the truck race to make this short track work for him. His crew chief made that connection explicit. Doran said, SVG used some of the lines he figured out in the truck the night before. If the reason this run worked was a road course trick transplanted onto a short track, the obvious question is what happens at the tracks where that trick simply does not exist. That question has real weight, because of what comes next on the calendar. The finish moved Van Gisbergen's provisional playoff position. He entered the race 31 points above the chase cut line and left it 54 points above, with 5 races remaining in the regular season. On the surface, that reads as safe. But Beyond the Flag's playoff format analysis has already pointed out how unforgiving this point system can be, noting that even a race winner can still fall outside the top 16 and miss the playoffs entirely if regular season points do not hold up elsewhere. That is the format Van Gisbergen is playing inside, and it is not hypothetical for him. It already happened once. In his rookie season, Van Gisbergen entered the 2025 playoffs as the 7th seed. He was outside the cut line within the first 2 elimination races. The format turned on him fast, and it turned on him specifically once the unfamiliar oval and intermediate tracks entered the rotation. That history is the reason skepticism about this Wilkesboro result is not just cynicism for the sake of an argument. Now place his own words next to the highlight reel, because they do not sit comfortably together. Days before this race, Van Gisbergen told a reporter, "I'm still weak on intermediates. I think that's probably my lowest ranked track. Getting better at drafting ones, but intermediates, we're weak, I'm weak as a team. We really need to step up there." Most of the remaining regular season schedule is intermediate tracks, the exact track type he just called his own weakest category. His crew chief's praise came with the same caution attached. Doran called the Wilkesboro result a huge one for the numbers, but stressed that the team still isn't comfortable enough to ease up. The radio line went viral within hours. The far more serious quote about being weak as a team barely registered outside race day reporting. That gap is worth sitting with. The internet picked the fun soundbite and largely skipped past the warning sign sitting right next to it. Reaction from inside the sport has leaned toward the optimistic camp, at least for now. 7-time Cup Series champion Jimmy Johnson credited the extra track time from Saturday's truck race for Sunday's jump, saying, "Shane's trouble for the rest of this field, man," and adding that, "it's reps behind the improvement." TNT Sports commentator and former Cup driver Jamie McMurray was similarly complimentary, saying Van Gisbergen deserves flowers for the last couple of weeks. Van Gisbergen's own public reaction, posted directly to his account after the race, struck a more measured tone than the radio clip suggested. "Awesome night, P5 at North Wilkesboro. Pretty cool to get the lead, but just wasn't good enough on the long run." That measured tone matters, because Van Gisbergen has been direct about the format itself working against a driver with his specific skill set. He said, "It's hard for me. The reason I'm in the series is because of win and you're in, right? I feel like I've gotten better at ovals to where I don't have to rely on it, but it's certainly going to be an achievement to make that top 16. That is not a driver dismissing the format debate. That is a driver acknowledging it directly, in his own words, days apart from the run that has fans convinced he has already solved the problem." So here is where this actually sits. The tape says he just outdrove Denny Hamlin, the points leader, at one of the hardest short tracks on the circuit, and did it while backing up a truck race podium the night before. The transcript says he told a reporter, days earlier, that his team is weak everywhere the schedule is about to take him next. 5 races remain in the regular season. 1 points number, still fragile despite the cushion, decides whether any of this Wilkesboro run means anything come the playoffs. Right now, nobody, not the fans celebrating the radio clip, not the analysts crediting the reps, and maybe not even Shane Van Gisbergen himself, actually knows which version of him shows up next. Drop a comment below. Is this a genuine breakthrough, or a ticking clock on a driver who already knows his own weak spots? We're reading every one of them. And if you enjoy real NASCAR breakdowns like this one, subscribe to NASCAR Racing World, hit like, and share it with someone who still thinks this result settles the argument, because it does not.